Today I am going to speak about the method used to analyze a university's collaboration network. It's a specific word. Okay. First, I am going to present the context and objectives of the study. Second, I am going to explain how the participants were selected and the data was collected. Then I will describe the network measures used in this study. And finally, I will present the data analysis used to analyze the organizational structure of the university's network. Okay? This research presents an evaluation of the collaboration network between 8 universities, 6 in Colombia, 1 in Mexico, and 1 in Brazil, that have a partnership. Calling for this word, Universities Network, I can't mention the real name because I have to protect the confidentiality of the universities. This university network aims to promote the quality and development of higher education through development of programs, plans, projects around teaching, research, and management. And the objective of this study was to characterize the organizational structure of the university's collaborative network and to identify what variables are related to the likelihood of integration between them. Okay? To do so, interviews were collected from each in the university's areas, specifically 234 area directors of the 8 universities and the direction of the university network were interviewed in order to identify the sample and collect the data. First, we reviewed the documents of the university's network with the purpose to identify objectives, main programs, and the key actors of the network. Then, we reviewed the web page of the universities in order to identify the main areas of the university. And finally, we selected a coordinator in each university who had to identify the directors and coordinate the process. The respondents were chosen by considering their position in their university area, and prior to collecting this information, the directors of areas were informed about the study by directors of the university through an informed consent letter. And the instrument used for data collection was adapted from a GIA network analysis project. GIA is a program to promote the physical activity in Brazil and Latin America, and we choose this instrument because taking into account the barriers to partnering, organizational characteristics, and it incorporates variables to model the relation among areas using a network representation. Okay, for the purpose of this study, 4 key variables were examined using network analytics methods. The first was relationship measure. The relationship measure indicates the existence of links between the areas of different universities. The response were asked to indicate if the area were linked or not with other areas in the network. It's a dichotomic variable. For example, 2 areas worked together in some way, the relationship was 1. If not, the relationship was 0. The integration measure described the relation among areas that were linked. The response option ran from communication, for example, to areas work share information only, to partnership, to areas work together as a formal team with specified responsibilities to achieve common goals. The contact determined the frequency of contact between the areas that were linked. The response option of the categories were semi-annual or annual, trimestrally, monthly, weekly, and daily. And the only organizational attributes used for this study was the type of area. It was determined by considering the role and type of activity, and the categories were direction, administrative, academic, and foreign affairs offices. In order to analyze the data, 4 stages were developed. The first and statistical descriptive analysis was performed in order to identify how many directors knew about the university's network, what universities for the network, what objectives universities network were, and what main barriers impeded partnership. Second, a visual and descriptive analysis of the network was performed in order to identify the role of the main actors and identify visually the subgroup of areas that work together in some way. For example, we can see the network of the relationship between the areas. The color represents the type of area, and the node type represents the number of types that one actor has to other actors in the network. We can see that the more central nodes in the network were these called red points that in this case represent the direction of the each university. This is an example of the visual analysis of the network. In order to confirm the subgroups that work together periodically in a cooperative and partnership way, a positional analysis was performed in order to identify these subgroups. And finally, an exponential random graph model, which is a stochastic network method, was used to analyze what variables are related to the linear of integration. To do that, we viewed three models: a new model with only taking into account the relationship measure, a second model taking into account additionally the attribute type of area, and finally the model 3 additionally include the contact variable. Any question?
I am working in information visualization, and I am interested in the graphic that show the visual analysis of the network.
Okay.
Could you explain that a little better? Like, how did you organize the nodes, and what are the edges represent? And
this network was constructed about the linking between two areas. This one area said in the interview that are connected or work with other area. For example, the direction of one university work with other university. You put a link. You construct. You build a graph. Yeah. Use a matrix to represent this network. You can use software like Usenet or Mathematica or Gephi. Gephi is a very good software to analyze the visual network.
There is a way in the link.
There is a way.
Yes.
Okay. For me, it's not important because my purpose is to analyze the structural organization. My purpose is to identify what is the main actor of the network, what subgroup of areas are working together. For example, the direction are working periodically and in a collaborative and partnership way, but there are other, for example, the School of Engineering.
The matrix is 1 or 0.
Yeah.
You know,
This matrix, but there are other two matrices that explain how is the relation between two areas.
Okay, I don't understand. How do you introduce the other information like periodicity or
Okay.
relationships of information between each actor in this figure or graph?
In this study, it's only a moment of time, but you can analyze the evolution of the network, and you can analyze different measures like centrality, in degree of degree, betweenness, closeness, to understand how for example, how the structural network evolves in the time.
Okay, one more is you have a multi-level graph for this study, or you have separately graphs for each role or each?
No, in this moment, only the analysis was focused only in the university's areas. For example, the School of Engineering, libraries or planning and project management office, but you can use other data to analyze the macro level. For example, the level, the network of the only university, but for this study was not relevant because there only was 8 universities.
What is the theoretical support for the classification of different kinds of strong communication between the partners? Because for me it's not clear how you can distinguish between the simple communication through the alliance real collaboration.
Okay.
Do you have some model or theoretical approach?
We can use a measure based on other studies to classify for example, the linking between two areas, but the information was only about the interview of the directors. I know that, and the next step of the project is to confirm this type of for example, of relation between two areas. Like the idea is to identify projects, time of work, time that two areas have worked together, and different other documents. But in this moment, was only based in the interviews.
But when you in a past slide, you establish some kind of classification that
Yeah.
and to start with some theoretical base to propose this classification, and after that you try to confirm it. Not really.
No, this is a variable used for other studies that are functioning in this study, but it's a categorical way. It's only based on the interview. The idea to confirm that to say is use different documents, real documents. For example, when two areas say that have a partnership, you can look for example, a formal agreement between the areas. You can identify the projects that two areas have worked before.
Okay. Just one thing is someone made some study about the relationship or the networks of collaboration between academics in a faculty of management.
Okay.
And I find some similar, this could be behind a theoretical background different, but the mechanism that used to analyze